Grace and peace, everybody. Grace and peace. Happy Monday to you all. And wow, do we have a week planned for you all? But before we get started, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, so you know what we are about to do. We are going to put on our tinfoil hats. We are going to don our conspiracy theory aprons. And we are going to talk about what in the world do you think is going to happen on this Young Thug case on tomorrow. But before I get too far afield, I want to say thank you to everybody who's already in the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you. Looks like almost 60 of you all have stopped by. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so very much for stopping by and spending a little bit of time with me tonight. I do have something fun for you, so hopefully all of your waiting will not be in vain. I got something that's going to make it a little bit fun tomorrow to watch the trial, so stick around. This Young Thug case has just been totally amazing. There's no other way to say it. It's been amazing just how weird it's been running, all of the different complexities and all the different characters that have been a part of it. It's just been, you could not have written this. Again, the Screen Actors Guild, they could not have written this. If they could have, they would have, trust me. It's just been amazing. So if you're not familiar, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, we have a new judge, and over the past week, we've received a deluge of motions related to this trial, for mistrials, for bond, for fair hearing, for giving us evidence. I mean, there's been countless gag orders, all kinds of shenanigans. And tomorrow, all these motions are going to be heard by the new judge, Judge Paige Reese Whitaker. I think it's going to be interesting because I have a theory about what's going to actually happen tomorrow. And so what I wanted to do is just take tonight. We don't have to be super long, but I really want to hear, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Do you think Fani Willis is going to pop up? Why do you think Fani Willis is going to pop up? Why do you think she's not? Do you think it's going to go to mistrial? Do you think it's going to, the judge is going to barrel on through and get the jury in? What do you think is going to happen? So my goal, my intention tonight is just give you a chance to vent your conspiracies, vent your theories. I said that we were going to be taking bets. I'm only using that as a joke. Okay. We're not really betting. Okay. We're not really betting. So don't go too far off the range. However, if I heard that they were betting, I would not be surprised. I don't bet, but I would not be surprised if I heard that Vegas was really betting on this trial, because it's so crazy. I mean, it has international appeal. We have people who've been watching this trial from Germany, from European states, as well as the Philippines. I've talked to people from South Africa, as well as Latin America and South America. I'm sorry, this thing is all over the place. So I think there's a possibility that somewhere in one of these little bookie back alley smokehouses, somebody's betting on this trial. And I wouldn't be surprised, not one iota, because it's going to be crazy. So I would love to hear, please, in the chat. You know what? I'll even drop the link. We can even have some people come in. I will drop the link. Feel free to come on. Let me know what you think. We're going to keep it short and to the point. I would love for you to make sure you have your camera on. We make sure that our language and our vocabulary is up to par, okay? No cussing, no profanity, no craziness like that. But then also, we're going to stay on topic. What do you think is going to happen on tomorrow? Now, I'm going to tell you what I think will happen tomorrow. And I do have something fun for you if you plan on watching it tomorrow. Oh, by the way, Judge Reese Whitaker says she's starting at 8:45. So please understand, don't come rolling up in here at 8:50, because we're going to already have been started. I'll be starting this live stream tomorrow at 8:30. We'll drop my car off to the shop, and then I'll make sure I'm back here on time. And hey, make sure your face is washed and all that kind of good stuff. And we're going to be ready to dance. So 8:30, we'll be ready to we'll start the live stream. Again, I got something fun for you, so I think you all will enjoy it and you all will have a good time. But let me hear, I see already somebody's already said they're calling a mistrial. Okay. I can totally see it. I can totally see it. If you listen to Kat Knott Williams, she just finished a fantastic hour and a half live stream going through some of the most recent motions and response to motions and responses to the response that have been uploaded as of late. I don't see any way. I think mistrial is extremely probable. I don't think that's even a that's not even a gamble. Not even a gamble. All right. Some reason or another we're talking about air fryers. I have no idea why they're talking about food. I don't know. Maybe they're hungry. I don't know. But now they're already talking about food. I do think that mistrial is within the realm of reason. So let me start with a very simple one. Do you believe with me that Fani Willis will materialize in court on tomorrow? Do you believe that? If you do think that she will, why don't you go ahead and put yes in the chat? And if you don't, go ahead and put no in the chat. Do you think that she'll pop up in the chat? What's going on? Courtaholic, good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by on this evening and all the others of you all as well. I believe, Felicia says, I believe Fani is worried. That is why she's out here talking and helping Miss Love and with replies. No argument for me. I agree 100%. Ooh, retired says no, does not think Fani's going to show up tomorrow. Really? Okay. Ooh, I got a whole bunch of no's. Ooh, Jason. Okay, I might have to plead my case. Okay. Oh, they said Jay-Z crazy. Come on now, courtaholic. We can't do maybes. See, Felicia on my team. Felicia on my team. Okay, let me explain. Okay, no, I think this is dope. She's not going anywhere near it. No, Fani's already tied to it. For crying out loud, Fani just tied her name to it by filing the motion. She's a part of it. There's no way to get around it. You can't look over, say, oh, I don't see you. I don't see. No, she's a part of it. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. And a law student is right there with me. If they see law student, shout out to law student, the black law student. He knows exactly where I was going. Fani Willis has to argue this motion that she filed because Love and Hilton are actually the ones that are seeking to disqualify. They can't argue that case. It would have to be Fani. And watch this. It has to be Fani, and that's going to be the first motion that they have to hear. I'm going to say Fani going to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. I know it sounds crazy, but there's no other way. I can't think of another way. If they're going to argue this case, short of the only reason why Fani would not be in there is if Judge Whitaker walks in and says, y'all, I've been reading over this. This case is trash. And they dismiss it. And she calls a mistrial. Or if the state comes in and says, you know what, we're going to withdraw our claim. We'll withdraw the charges. That's the only way I think it would even be possible, even in the realm of possibility. Otherwise, I'm sorry. I don't think there's any way around it. I think Fani Willis has to be there to argue this motion. Because remember, she's the only motion that was filed this past week, a response to a motion that was filed this week, that wasn't somebody that we had already seen in court on an ongoing basis. We saw Adrian Love, we saw Brian Steele, we saw Doug Weinstein, we saw Harvey, we've seen all these other people involved in the case. They've been there since day whenever. They've been in there, they've been involved. Why did Fani have to do that? She's gonna have to be there. I'm sorry. And hear me. I love being wrong. I'm a pre-K law student, but I think Fani Willis is gonna have to be there tomorrow. And I'm sorry. Now, I do have some more conspiracy. I got a lot of extra tinfoil in my tinfoil hat because Kamala Harris is going to be in town tomorrow here in Atlanta. So maybe she like politicking, like trying to show her interview skills, trying to show like, hey, I think there's more reasons to it, that there's more reasons for her to be in court tomorrow and argue in this case than there are for her to not be. That's my head. So that's why I believe Fani will be in there. Fani is going to come in with her new boo to avenge her alleged expired boo. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's very possible. Yeah, I think I'm sorry. I believe that. I do believe that. Now, I think what's going to probably happen, Fani Willis is going to come in. She's going to argue the case that prosecution doesn't need to be excluded or be recused from this. Judge Whitaker is going to say, okay, no problem. I agree. Then she's going to go to the next motion, which is the motions for mistrial. And then she's going to say mistrial, prejudice, Y'all go ahead and take it to the house. I know I'm crazy. I'm crazy. That's why I don't bet because I would probably lose all my money. I think it's going to be a mistrial probably before. We're not going to go all till 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever Judge Whitaker said. No, tomorrow's going to probably be a mistrial pretty early, probably with prejudice. It's going to be on the fault of the prosecution, and that's where I think it's going to land. But what do y'all think, though? What do you think? She, y'all gonna leave Nathan alone. Y'all leave Nate alone. Nate is out there trying to do his life. He's trying to live his life, lay low. People calling it by noontime tomorrow. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Fani is going in there using the intimidation. That's what the district attorney's office of Georgia does. They use that intimidation act. Felicia knows the game plan. Felicia got the script. She understood the homework assignment. That's all she's doing. That's it. That's why she wrote that. That's why she wrote that motion. Is intimidation. That's it. That is exactly it, in my opinion. All right. So, okay, we hit 150. I said as soon as we hit 150, I had something surprise for you. So tomorrow we are going to play YSL Bingo. Everybody, I'm about to drop the link in the chat. You can download yourself a YSL Bingo board for tomorrow. And this is 100% just for fun. No, there's no winners, there's no losers. It's just having fun, just having a good old time, making fun of this because I'm sorry, it needs to be made fun of. So I will drop the link real quick and I'll go through it real quick and make sure it makes sense so everybody understands how we're playing this game. So hopefully you can see this. I think you can. Okay. Now we are not going to be playing this virtually online. So this is going to be for you. You can have another tablet, have it on your phone, whatever like that. So here are the words that we're going to be going through in our for our bingo game on tomorrow. The YSL bingo game. All right. Of course, if there's a Fani Willis sighting, you get that box. Okay, clearly. If Fani Willis rolls in there, you get that box for sure. All right, let me just do this. Okay, Fani Willis shows up, you get that box. If somebody else, if mistrial is given, if the case goes to mistrial, of course you get that, and I guess we all win. I don't know, but there. If Ashley Merchant shows up tomorrow, if somehow or another Ashley Merchant materializes in there tomorrow, you get that box. Or I'll even give it to you if somebody in court mentions Ashley Merchant's name. Okay, of course, if DA Hilton is there, you get that. If DA Love is there, you get that. If there's any form of yelling or raising of one's voice, I should have put down scribbling. You know, let me put scribbling sticky notes. Yeah. All right. Any kind of yelling, and I hate to think that there will be because I think Judge Whitaker had much better courtroom management, but who knows? Who knows? Sticky note. if you see if you see DA Love passing sticky notes and passing notes, yeah, of course. If they start late, now according, I'm going to use late as 9 o'clock. She said 8:45. I'm gonna give her 15 minutes just to be reasonable. So let's say they start at 9 o'clock. If they start after 9 o'clock, so 9:01, that would technically be late. Following this logic, you get that box. If if there is a Woody sighting or the name Kenneth Copeland is mentioned, Little Woody, Kenneth Copeland, Little Wood, whatever like that, of course you get that one. If anybody brings up video evidence, if there is video evidence shown, of course you're going to get that. You're going to get that one. Okay. Of course, the word testimony. This is meant for everybody to have a good time. Okay. All right. If you hear bond granted, because again, there are motions for bond being granted. Of course, you're going to get that one. If you hear, of course, the motion denied, then that would be, of course, you would get that. There might be a couple motions denied. Of course, we had to. I mean, we wouldn't be here if it was not for the ex parte parte. So if you hear the word ex parte, then of course you get that. Goaded. That was a good word that we've heard during this as well. Goaded. If the word goaded is used in court tomorrow, of course You're going to get that. Gang, the word gang, you're going to get that. And then, of course, RICO. We all know about RICO. And of course, if they use racketeering, was it racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization, they use any form of that, I'll let you have it for sure. If they end up taking a comfort break tomorrow, then you can have that. Of course, I'm expecting to hear the word honorable on tomorrow. So, of course, you can have that. And then lastly, or almost lastly, please forgive me, Thugger Daily. All right, Thugger Daily. Shout out to Thugger Daily, the Honorable Thugger Daily, which is a Twitter account that's really been keeping us all up to speed and up to date on this case. They've actually been mentioned in many of the motions. So I just figured, you know what? Thugger Daily, shout out to Thugger Daily. And of course, if Judge Whitaker is there, I hope she is. We're looking forward to meeting her. Judge Whitaker, then you'll go ahead and tap that box just like that. Oh, sorry about this demo. All right. If we hear the state rests, then we go ahead and click that. If we get a verdict, we get some kind of verdict, or somebody says, take this to verdict or anything of that nature. All right. We hear about Fulton County Jail. And I'll give you Fulton Jail, the county jail, Fulton County Jail, any form or variation of that. If we see the jury tomorrow, or we feel or hear rather that the jury is going to be coming back soon. So they say, well, the jury will be back on Thursday or something of that nature. Or we hear about the jury, I'll let you have it. Then we got coerced and tampering. Any forms, any variations of those, and knock yourself out. I think we got enough. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading a comment right there. So I'm going to drop the link to this in a second. Y'all can have it. I'll put it down in the description as well. I only have 30 game boards. So I think what happens is after a while, they'll start recycling. But we'll find out tomorrow, of course, as well. It's just meant to be fun. There's nothing given away. I'm not going to check and validate that you've actually got bingo. You could go blackout bingo. You can do four-corner bingo. Have fun. Have a great time. That was just something I thought we would have a good time looking at and keep us engaged tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be, if nothing else, tomorrow is going to be a wild day in courtroom. I think it's courtroom C, I think it is. But yes, hopefully we'll have a great time. So I'm gonna drop that link in the chat for everybody. I think the moderators have it as well. They can put it in the chat now, and I'll put it in the description in a moment. But I thought that would be something fun that we could do. I do want to hear what other conspiracies you have related to this case. What other conspiracies do you have alleged to this case as well? I would love to hear. Now, again, I told you, I think Fani Willis is coming in. I do believe that they're going to get Judge Whitaker is going to declare a mistrial with prejudice, and it's over. And that's going to happen fairly quickly. That's my little 2 cents. I want to hear what you think. And again, I could be wrong. I'm definitely welcome to be wrong, because can you imagine basically 8 hours every day of this with a judge that's competent and running a good ship? Man, it's not going to be a long case. If that be the case, it's not going to be a long case. So I'm looking forward to it either way. Let's see what else I got. The state is never going to rest. Okay. I got you. Nathan Wade comes in with her. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's conspiracy. That's some high level conspiracy right there. You guys are wild. All right, let's see. I got some good ones in here. Lots of good people popped in. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes, if Ashley Merchant shows up, absolutely. We got to give a shout out for that. We got to give a shout out for that, for sure. Wait. So who else is on the street? Okay, I see that. Yeah, Kamala's supposed to be in town tomorrow here in Atlanta. And I have no idea who else is coming with her, but who knows? Perfect time, 30. Oh, no, I don't think they're going to start at 10 o'clock. No. If you come in at 10 o'clock, this thing is already going to be well underway. I don't know. They might be already wrapping up. Again, Judge Whitaker seems like, everything I've read about her seems like she is about that timeliness, and she wants to get this thing over with and moved on. So if that means over with a decision, over with the declaration, or over with let's go ahead and get these jury's going to be in tomorrow kind of stuff. I don't think 10 o'clock is going to be realistic at all. I think she's going to start at 9 o'clock, and definitely I'm going to go even before 9 o'clock, in my opinion. All right, what we got here? What we got here? Courtholic says, I never fell down that Fani Willis rabbit hole. It is crazy. If you go down the rabbit hole of, again, you can do this with anything. You can do this with anything, but sometimes it just draws you in. It's like pulls you in. You have no idea how did I end up here 3 hours later. I'm not saying that's ever happened to me. I'm just saying I've heard about stories about that. All right. Okay, so what is C Delane 3 says? What does she say here? Sorry about that. I don't see them getting a conviction in this case. I agree. I'm sorry. I don't think it's not clean enough. It's too dirty. There's too many fingerprints on it. There's just no way for it to become a clean case. It's a mess and it's hard to follow. And watch this. We are able to go back. We are able to have conversations and dialogue about it. We're able to go to lead attorney. We're able to go to AV and Catnot Williams and all these other phenomenal legal minds and kind of get a little bit of gauge on it. Imagine being a juror and you're not supposed to do that. Okay, keep going. Between the hostile witness and the investigators hitting on witnesses, yeah, mistrial. Yeah, I totally forgot about the whole dating thing. But I mean, yeah, this case, I'm sorry, this case is done. Oh man, I did forget about Gatkel. You know what? I'm gonna put it on there right now. If I don't see any reason for Gatkel to show up, but I think that'll just throw off the board if I did. Gatkel. And if you're not familiar with that, that's a Georgia Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers or Defense Attorneys, I think it is. Defense lawyers. This is the organization that got Brian Steele when Brian Steele was going to be thrown into jail for contempt for not saying who told him about the ex parte meeting. Gatkel came in and gave Glanville the business. And the president of Gatkel is Ashley Merchant. So Ashley Merchant came in and let him know what was really going down. All right. Tom got the memo right there. Tom S said, don't be late. Do not be late. Don't play with my sister from another mister. All right. What does retired say? The court security doesn't start screening until 8:30. Now that is true. The only thing is, just if I'm understanding it correctly, and I could be wrong, a judge can ask them to start screening earlier. And that's the only reason. But I mean, I could be 100% wrong. Yeah, that's right here. 8:45 to 6 o'clock. I'm sorry. That's going to be a mess. That's going to be something else right there. Yes, an investigator was hitting on a witness. I did a video on that too. It was crazy. I totally forgot about it. I'm only laughing because some of this stuff is almost like Laurel and Hardy comical. You're almost like, are we dealing with children here? What's going on? What does Jareel's crazy world say? Does anybody else catch the part of the ex parte meeting when Lawyer Love and Hilton told the judge to cover his ears because he might not want to hear the next part? Yes, we did. Craziness. Okay. Fani wants a conviction in this trial because it's one of the biggest cases in Georgia's history. Full stop. There's so much riding on this. Truthfully, I don't think it'll ever get to a conviction. I'm sorry. There's no way, even if they snapped their fingers and the jury came in tomorrow and they started up tomorrow, they have to ask the jurors, have they been, somehow or another keeping up with this case? And again, they've been out for almost 5 weeks, a month and a week almost. That's crazy to believe that they didn't know anything about this case. No, they are. And of course, if you ask them and they give you, yeah, I'm biased because, Judge Glanville said this, or I know that this happened with Woody, or I think the prosecutors are dirty, whatever like that. There's no way that you're going to convince them that they've not already been impacted negatively or somehow through this case. So yeah, back to the case, what you're reading here. Yet I don't see a conviction on this, on the in this trial. State's very best is a mistrial, retry. The thing is, in order to declare a mistrial, the defense has to do something wrong. At the current moment, the defense has been cooking. It's the state that would force a mistrial, and therein is the problem. If they force a mistrial, prejudice attaches to it. Double jeopardy is attached to it. They can't get another bite at the apple. That's why I think that's why they're using the word goaded, that they're goading the defense to ask for a mistrial so that they can get just a mistrial and they can come back again next week and try again. That's why. So I think there's not a lot of ways to make this get this square peg into a round hole for them. And I think they're going to realize that. I think they already know it, though. Very good comment. Thank you so much. Even if Whitaker does not apply the mistrial with prejudice, then lawyers' next step will be upper courts. Absolutely. So, I mean, there's not I hate to say it again, because I don't know if these people really did it. I don't know. The problem is they've had almost 9 months and they have not proven that these people did it. I'm sorry. So it's not our fault that we don't believe that Young Thug and them are these terrible people. It's the state's fault. And the state has given us nothing. If the state had given us something to really chew on during this time, I don't think we would even be here. But you're literally tying your whole case to Kenneth Copeland, who was at one point almost one of Georgia's most violent criminals, most wanted. You did that. Nobody told you to do that. And let's see what's it. Why investigators can't get a day? Finally got them bringing down crime. Where else is he supposed to get a woman? Y'all's haters. That's what Q said. Okay, Q. All right, there you go. And Mandy says she is serious. She seems serious about starting on time. Everything I read about her seems that she runs a pretty nice ship. And again, I don't know what happened with Glanville. I'm not trying to, besmirch the man. I just think he got in way over his head, and I think this thing got way out of control entirely too fast. So she'd be like ex parte. James Hicks said, absolutely. What is Black law student say? He says, yes, judges can start court at 8:30, the earliest. She probably sent an order to the court convening. I'm sorry, the order of court convening to the sheriff's department. Yeah, I think they can start a little bit early. But even if that be the case, you know what? If she started at 9:05, I think there'll be a little level of grace if she started at 9:05 compared to our former judge who started at like 11. So it still would come across like she trying to get some stuff done. Fani already blew up her greater political future. The problem is, I think in certain circles, she could fail upwards. She could still fail up. Look at the woman that's running for president right now. Look at Stacey Abrams. There's countless others who fail, and they keep moving forward. So I don't think it's possible. I don't think we can completely wash our hands of that. Wait, PSA chat, learn from Glanville. If Love asks you for an ex parte, you got to tell her no. I don't think Love is going to be asking me for an ex parte. I would greatly appreciate her not doing that. Trust me, I'd appreciate that. What do we have right here? What's Wealthy Wisdom saying? I appreciate you. Now, by the way, this was just a fun live stream. I just want to hear what is your thoughts as we're getting ready, hopefully to resume court in this YSL trial. And I just wanted to hear, what were your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? I kind of expressed what I think might happen and such like that. And hey, they could be as crazy as you want them to be. I mean, short of something like bananas, but it could be crazy because I just want to hear, what are your thoughts? And then, of course, make sure you're ready to start on time tomorrow. 8:30. Let's get at it. Let's go. What does wisdom say here? The prosecution team should not be focusing on a conviction. That's a full stop. That's a whole stop right there. You don't need to say anything else. That's the problem. And most of us think about it in winners and losers, those who prevail and those who fail. So we're thinking about it like that, but that's not what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to ensure the truth comes out. And if it warrants a conviction, then good. They are operating in the reverse. Amen. I mean, go back and listen to some of Fani Willis's pressers when they first captured and arrested Jeffrey Williams. She's speaking like, yo, this is a done deal. This is a done deal. But he's already guilty in her mind. And so I agree with you. Very good comment. Wealthy wisdom. Thank you. Oh my gosh, would they not retire? He says they would love to get a mulligan and try again, but the defense is fighting to prevent that. You can't get a mulligan just because you messed up, though. That's the thing. You got to fix what you've broken, and they can't fix what they broke. That's it. That is the problem at hand. This is interesting. Let's see what Steph Love says. Steph Love says, I feel like if there's a mistrial, the feds are sitting on ready. You know what? I had not thought about that one. So I'm going to give you that one. I don't know about that one. Yeah, I don't know. But I will say this, though. This is yet another reason why states should not try RICO cases. They should become federal cases instantaneously. If you get a grand jury to agree to that, then it should automatically be elevated to a federal trial and let the feds deal with it. That's my opinion. Will this judge finally confirm that the meeting in Glanville's chamber was an ex parte meeting rather than just a meeting? Everybody has said that. Cross has said that. I don't think the state has admitted it, but Glanville admitted that it was an ex parte. I think the problem is they're shrouding whether or not it's what they should do and what they should have been able to do. And I think that's where the problem is. But Black law student, feel free to fix that if I said that wrong. Prosecutors, Black law student says, can drop charges at any time during a criminal case, including during trial. Fani throw the white towel. Yeah, but she can come back like immediately and still go back for another bite at the apple. If they drop charges today, they can rebook Wednesday. I mean, they can do it again. So James Hicks said, Juror 9 saw Woody driving a Hellcat after he was swimming in the pool. I think I saw him he was on some live stream, not live stream. He was in a video recently with a Hellcat. That's funny that you're talking about that. What's Gia said? Gia says, based on the evidence presented, they are innocent. I mean, I just want a clean case. And at the current moment, I think most of us agree this is not a clean case. So you're not going to be able to get the result that you want without, because the instantaneously go to appeal. It's instantaneously going to be problematic. So I don't see any other way short of it just going to a mistrial. There's just too many moving pieces that have gone awry in this. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm claiming mistrial. I feel good about that. Oh, by the way, let me drop this. This is the link for the the bingo game. I'll make sure I put it in the description as well tomorrow. So we're going to play YSL Bingo tomorrow. Paying attention, having a good time. Look, what does Lovey say? I also believe that this case is turning some of these men around. Look at Woody. He's completely different than when he first started. Just saying, this may have made them stay out of trouble. Okay. That could be an unintended consequence. I hope and pray that I haven't been keeping up with Woody like that to really, really dig into that, but I'll trust you for that for sure. No problem. I will absolutely take that. The judge was the prosecutor's ace in the pocket. I think you mean Judge Glanville, and if that be the case, then I agree. This case was rushed. I don't know if anybody caught Fani when she spoke about going after gangs in indictments. She was even admitted that Donovan got whatever, like she stepped in their revenge. And I was talking about this with somebody earlier today. This case, it was not new. It wasn't like it was new. This case was available to Paul Howard, the DA prior to. And as far as I understood it, Paul Howard said it wasn't a strong case. The case that they are trying right now was not a strong case. And look what we have right now. So it didn't need to happen. It was not required that they did this. The comfort breaks are over, people. You better take your comfort break before you get in here. Ooh, wait, what? Tom said the next step is jury has a verdict, but demands $12 million to sign off. Fani pays and verdict not guilty. I don't think the jury can extort the DA. But hey, I said I wanted to hear your theory. I'm gonna accept your theory. I don't think they can extort the DA. But let me tell you right now, that is hilarious. And I got to give you a tip of the hat for that for sure. That's hilarious. I love it. Yeah, and Felicia sums it up perfectly. If the district attorney had a case, we would not be going through all of this chaos that we've been going through. I mean, it wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened like this. No. I don't think the feds will either. Crazy World says after this mess, I don't think the feds would want to touch us with a 10-foot pole. I think they have better resources, but if the case was available to Paul Howard, who was the predecessor to Fani Willis, and he didn't want it, and he didn't think it was a good case, why in the world did she do this? Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I agree with Lovey. I don't think the feds want to touch this. It's already been shown to be prejudiced. I can dig that. Now, maybe they got some new information. Maybe they got another scoop. Maybe they know something else, but I don't think that's ultimately what they want. I don't think they do. All right, what we got here? You know what? I forgot to add Glanville and them as witnesses. Okay, I do think they're going to I think Judge Whitaker is going to let that slide. The motion to recuse the prosecutor and to add Love and Hilton and Glanville to the witness list. I think she's going to let that slide because I think in the triage, maybe following just a triage, the main thing she has to deal with is the prosecutor. After that, it's going to be the mistrials. After that, it's the bonds, and then all that other ancillary stuff after that. If she just says, you know what, y'all can stay on here, it don't matter. It's all good. Love, Hilton, y'all good. Stay right there with your sticky notes. And then the next thing she deals with is the motion for mistrial. And she just declares a mistrial with prejudice. It's over. So I don't think she has to me, I don't think they have to worry about that. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But I don't think that they need to worry about it as much as I still think it would have been hilarious to see Glanville on the stand and have Jack sitting next to him. That would have been wild. Need a comfort break while he's getting drilled and grilled by Brian Steele. That would have been must-see TV. Based on what the feds are seeing, this current case, they might not take it on. No, I agree 100%. Look at Ms. Bonner coming right up in here speaking truth. People are getting killed in Atlanta. She needs to focus on that. I'm sorry. I do not feel comfortable that she's using the time and resources and ability and the manpower that God has made available to her to keep Atlanta safe. I'm sorry. I just don't think she has. And this case is starting to highlight the cracks in her logic, the cracks in her what's important to her, and how she categorizes and places things in orders of importance. To me, it is showing that. And we could go back to multiple, of course, if we go back to the interference trial and the disqualification hearing, we can see so many instances where Fani Willis has been shown to be lacking in some level of professionalism, some level of preparedness. And we see it here in her own crew. Her own disciples and devotees are not prepared, are not focused. Because imagine if, you know what? I really need to play that Adrian Love opening argument. Maybe I could put it real quick. I really need to play that because it is so disjointed. It was the biggest red flag you could imagine. And I'm like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? It was really bad. And my point in this is saying, if to the point that Bonner right here says that she needs to focus on what's going on here in Atlanta, I don't think that they're focused. I don't think that they're really, I do think that they just thought that they could bully their way through this trial. I don't believe, again, tinfoil hat, I don't believe they thought that Judge Glanville was going to get removed. I think they thought that they were going to just get away with this. And I didn't plan on playing that, but if it, here it is. Oh my gosh. Wait. No, this is it. Oh, wait, it's really long. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna find it because I see people reacting to it. I want to get the actual opening statement because it is really interesting. And back on the block where I was going with that, I don't think that if Adrian Love came in there and gave quick facts and explained exactly what's going to happen, I'm going to show you that this guy did this and this, that, and the other. And watch, here it comes right now. And came out the gate strong. She came out the gate. I really believe she was citing Dr. Seuss. It was really that bad. And to me, it shows the level of not really concerned and not really interested in doing the right thing in a speedy and timely manner, in my opinion. So, no, I agree with that. Thank you. Good comment. Great comment. Yeah. Woody been everywhere. Was that Danza? Was that it? Woody's interview with Danza Project had over 1 million views. I think that was it. The one where he was talking about the Hellcat. Why are you talking about a Hellcat, man? What's wrong with you? Oh my gosh. Anything can happen in Fulton County, Nia says, and sad to say, but you're right. Okay, what we got? Fani. Felicia says, Fani wanted that money. That's what she was. And usually with that game, with something like this, the incidents, if it was a solid case, the defense would have taken it. I agree 100%. Thank you so much. Checking President Firstborn and Chief Executive Second are at their beginning of school party. Oh, okay. Lady Dear World Christian just pulled in the garage. Okay, cool. All right, what we got? At this point, Lovey said, we all could be called witnesses. Let me tell you, Woody had me thinking I had committed the crime, okay? Woody had me going in circles. Like, did I do it? Maybe I did it. So, I agree, man. We all could be witnesses. I know some of y'all are jurors. I know some of y'all are jurors up in here. And like K-Pick right here, I know he's juror number 9. Juror number 9 right here. I truly don't see how a new judge comes in after 19 months of litigation. It wasn't truly 19 months. It was 9 months. It took him 10 months to sit a jury. So, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying, over 9 months of litigation, over 7 months of trial, and all this unjust, the DA and the judge have done, and still think this would be fair. Oh, no. There is no way. I don't think anybody thinks this is fair. That's the problem. I think that's the problem. But great comment. What else did you say? This case was pushed to trial. State tried their hardest to get it pushed back more and more. Finally, the defense said they are ready for this trial, and it's been a cluster from the jump. I agree. And even the point of saying that defense is dragging their feet, like, what are you talking about? It's y'all. This is your case. Y'all are dragging your feet. Remember, they're the ones that took almost a week to go through those Woody interviews. Nope, the Jungle Book, nevermore. Absolutely. I think it was Jungle Book. I'm sorry. I think she was quoting the Jungle Book. Is she in over her head, or is this not the Peter principle at work? No, I think she's just prideful. I just don't think she wants to let it go. So I wouldn't be surprised if they roll in there tomorrow and say, we're going to drop charges so they can do it again. I would not be surprised. Now, I'm not betting on that, but I would not be surprised because they want to win at any cost, in my opinion. It looks like by any means necessary, we have to win this case. Not justice has to be wrought. No, that truth has to come out and prevail. No, it is we have to win by any means necessary. And to me, I don't see how that's gonna bode well. That's a good you know what? I would love that's a great question, Felicia. Felicia coming in with the comments. Did anybody notice that they haven't mentioned Weaver being as a witness for the ex parte meeting? Some reason I think I asked somebody that because they mentioned there's investigators and deputies and I think sheriff in the room as well. They never mentioned them as being witnesses either. It's just Glanville, Love, and Hilton and Kenneth Copeland. That's a good question. I don't know why though, because I asked this and I don't remember what was the answer. I have to remember. I don't remember why that is the case because I have heard that, but I don't know why. Feds love properly investigated cases. This case has missing reports, investigators sexually harassing witnesses, detectives lying to get a warrant, etc. I agree. Yeah, they're not going to touch us with a 10-foot pole. I agree with you. That's the point. Like, what's the purpose of it? There's no reason. That's why I say again, I think Judge Whitaker is going to go ahead and just throw this out because it's going to go to appeal. There's no other way around it. It'll be an appeal next Tuesday. So just go ahead and accept that, you know what, this is going to go to appeal. Let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and accept our loss, take this L. But I feel that this was really like an interview, in my opinion, for Fani Willis. And I really think that she's going to hate the fact that she's going to have to come in there and clean up this dumpster fire that her DAs have brought in. Was it CDDAs and stuff like that have brought in this trial? So, needless to say, she's gonna be there for sure. All right, what does Patrice say? I'm sorry. Prentice Jones says, DWC, this trial was supposed to have been over during the opening statements when Love tried to burden shift. That's the automatic mistrial or reversible error on appeal. I agree. Now, I haven't heard many people argue about that, but I agree with you. And I need to find that. I need to make sure before we next time we live stream after the case tomorrow, I'll make sure I have that because it was really good. Remember Whitaker said, I'll still take pleas. So I'm asking for both sides to take advantage of that idea. Okay. I'm sorry, LOL, but I guess we'll see in the AM. But see, the defense is winning. So why should they take a plea? Because any plea that they offer, I'm not gonna say I agree to something you're losing. No, that's not gonna help you save face. You're going to lose face in this. And so I mean, short of them just dropping charges altogether, I don't see anything else that they could do because they're definitely not taking pleas like 5 years probation or something like that. For what? You're losing. All right. Steph said, I can't wait until the movie miniseries comes out about this trial. So interesting. Okay, so I did a community post. I have to do that again. It was for the disqualification hearing. And it was like if they did what actors would play these particular characters in the courtroom. So yeah, I'll have to do that again, but I agree with you 100%. Could it be repeating the same info and the best witnesses are Glanville, Love, and Hilton? I don't know about that one. Karen is my name. Excellent question. I don't know. This is an interesting one. K Pick says, assuming they wouldn't call them because the people that participated in the ex parte hearing would give them everything they needed. I think you're talking about Glanville and Love and Hilton. Oh no, they start tomorrow. K-Pick, it starts tomorrow. 8:30, we'll be live streaming it here. She says she's gonna start at 8:45. I'm gonna give her to 9 o'clock, so y'all got time to eat your breakfast and all that kind of stuff. Get your bingo boards ready, tell bad jokes, all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure by 9:01, it's gonna be fire in the hole. She's gonna be ready to go. So that's the bet that we have going on at the current moment. Yeah, I don't know how. And Lovey makes a great point here, and I think it's something to consider. Why are both of your cases, these big marquee cases, both of them are failing? Please don't blame it on other people. Don't blame it on other people. You are running a horrible campaign. Both of them are unforced errors. Nobody told you to hire your boyfriend to do this job. Nobody did. And the bad thing, in my opinion, many people didn't want to tell you because you're a DA, but nobody told you that you had to hire your boyfriend to do this job. So therein is the beginning of your problems. Yeah, there's no plea deals that are even available. There's no plea. I wouldn't take a plea deal. Yeah, definitely good conversation. Y'all, good stuff. What's going on, Mike Williams? Thank you so much for stopping by. Young King Drew said this trial is for future cases. The whole trial doesn't mean anything. They're just learning what to do to the next guy. I can probably see that. I can give you a little bit of that. I think if like let me ask you this question. Let me throw this out here because I got a couple comments I got to roll through. But let's just pretend that this case had happened in another county besides Fulton County. Let's say a county that was a little bit more diverse or less diverse. Please forgive me, less diverse. And let's also say that it was well managed. What I mean by that is they had all their ducks in a row. The prosecution had all their ducks in a row. Do you think we would be in this position? I think it's fair to say I don't think so. I think we would all be like, yeah, young thug. Oh yeah, he in jail now. Yeah, they're doing, whatever, 25 to life or whatever like that. But because of where it is and the dumpster fire that it is, I think that is part of the problem that it's experiencing. It's almost got too much star power, if you will. But I think also Fani and them just don't have any chill. They're not willing to say, yeah, this is a bad case. Because again, they didn't have to bring it. Nobody made them bring it. They brought this case. He said he hitting the bench at 8:45 is hitting the bench watch. That's it. Really? You think that the judge is going to lean to the state, even if defense is winning? Defense is winning pretty pretty handily in my assessment. Because please keep in mind that nobody knows who killed Nut at this point. And they've been at this for 7 months. Nobody knows who killed the man. Was it Woody? Was it Rich Homie Quan? Was it me? Was it you? Who was it? Nobody knows. So what have they done in 7 months? That's another reason why I believe Judge Whitaker is going to be like, she's like, yo, y'all been going this long? Yo, mistrial. Holla at y'all. I'm sorry. I don't think there's any way that they lean toward the defense, toward the prosecution or the state. Yeah, that's the thing. And I asked lead attorney, and I also asked Talk That Law, like, do they ever do autopsies on cases that don't do well? Because this one, it seems like to me it would be there would be in my mind, there should be an entire class in law school about this case, like how to mess up a case 101, like, and just study what they did wrong, because you can always study what they did right, and that's a good way to be successful as well. But this one right here just seems like there's so much to learn from this badly run case that I can't see any reason why you wouldn't. It's almost like you're missing an opportunity to learn. Felicia is right again. I forgot about that. She said, I believe the judge will be ready because remember, she warned them only takes one attorney to be there just for court to start. You know what? You're right. You are correct. So I think she will be on that bench at 8:45, not a second later. I agree. I've been said from the jump of Paul Howard didn't take the case. It was false. Let me make sure I got you right, Nick. Yeah, as far as I understood, Paul Howard told her not to, or anything else. She was aware that Paul Howard did not take the case, and to me, that was a good indicator. You should probably leave this alone. Like, just you know what, just leave it alone. But no, and then to charge RICO, you could have done anything else. There's a lot of different ways to skin this cat, but to charge RICO, because you got to prove a lot more. Sure, you can throw a whole bunch of people into the mix, but you still got to prove a lot of stuff, and you can't prove that. I don't think Fonny's gonna come in there doing that, but I think that's funny. I think that's hilarious nonetheless. He says if Fonny turns up shouting everyone lying, judge will bend the knee. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Fani Willis, in my opinion, Fani Willis realized, if you go back and watch the disqualification hearing, and we'll do the infamous pink dress. When she came in with the infamous pink dress, she behaved totally unprofessional. Everybody's first introduction of Fani Willis, a lot of people's first introduction of Fani Willis was on that day. And lots of people left from there with a very, very, very negative view of Fani Willis on that day. And if you remember, when she came back into court, it wasn't the next day, but when she came back into court, the following time that she was in there, her appearance was totally different and her demeanor was totally different. I believe it is because, remember, Fani Willis has a whole media observation team that manages her name in social media and in the news. And I think because of that, everybody saw just how much of a complete unhinged woman she is, in my opinion. And I believe because she came in with her hair different. She came in with a much better attitude, a much different demeanor the second time she came into court with Judge McAfee. And I think that's because she realized that she really kind of messed up her image, and her first impression, the first impression that she gave a lot of people was not a good look. So that's why I believe, in my opinion, she won't come in there. She's gonna come in tomorrow. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna put a lot of chips on that. She's gonna come in there tomorrow, but it's not gonna be like she did when she came into Judge McAfee's court during the disqualification, in my opinion. Kenneth Wood right there. I think RICO should only be should be in federal court. And I've heard other lawyers agreed with me about this. Like, yeah, this is just too big. Nobody needs to be doing this. Because it's humongous. I gave the joke. I'm like, there were 28 defendants at one time. If everybody stayed on there and everybody had one lawyer, that would almost be 60 lawyers alone. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's not even room for 60 people in that courtroom. That would have been bananas. Like, what's the purpose of this? Yeah, I think there's a lot of good questions. There's a lot of fantastic questions in here. Yeah, both of her cases are falling apart. And why is that? Why are your cases falling apart? Is it possibly because you don't manage your cases well? Is that possible? I like it. I like it. Good conversation back. Lots of good back and forth, which I really do appreciate. I think Tammy has a great question about whether or not I do believe. What does Tammy say? Tammy says, do any of you think that God is bringing out all the corruption for the whole world to see? I do agree that. I do think I live here in Atlanta. So I didn't realize how corrupt Fulton County was. I knew it was bad. I just didn't realize how bad it was until this case really hit the third rail. I'm like, yo, this case is crazy. Fulton County's a nut. So no, so why do you think the Fani's losing all the way around? I think it's because one, I think the cases that she was running were not good cases. I mean, there's good cases that people that that she's been able to put in jail and bring justice for. They're probably great, but these ones right here are not the marquee cases that you wanted. And I think they were used to increase her star power. And sadly, because you're trying to build your star power off some young black men that you want to just put in jail, or a former president because you don't like him. Huh, this is an interesting point that Nia makes right here. Nia says that the judge ran the appeal division of the prosecutor's office, so she definitely knows what was going to stand on appeal. I agree. Yeah, yeah, I can dig that. Yeah, I can totally dig that. Thank you. No one would be taking this case besides Fani. Full stop. Just like the Trump case, nowhere else in the country would this charge this case, but Fani just to campaign off of it. Disgraceful. I agree. And no, I think you have a great point. Fantastic. Some of my best experiences, Stephen said, in life have come from mistakes. You're so right. This case should be shown in law school. And apparently they don't do that. I thought they would do that. I thought they really would do a deep dive into cases, especially big marquee cases like this that have garnered so much attention. I'm not saying just a small little random case in a corner of the world that nobody knows about. But this right here, I mean, literally is global. Tomorrow's going to be bananas. Okay, there are going to be so many people watching this case tomorrow. People taking off from work. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. It's really that serious. I'm not joking. But why don't y'all? I would think that they would. I thought that they would. Like they would study cases that fell apart to see, like, okay, when this is like the opening statement was horrible, and there's just so many areas I think that we can learn from. Of course, you learn from the successes, of course. But then there's some really low moments, and this would just seem to be one of them, in my opinion. Okay, all right. I've seen so much about this dress. Y'all remember the pink dress? I know. Okay, I saw the designer of the dress saying that it was actually worn correctly. And so I think I even have a video about it being backwards. I think what somebody just put it up here. Yeah, here it is right here. Okay, I saw a video from the designer who said that the dress was on correctly. So I don't know. I really I can when they explained it, I'm like, yeah, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, but did it look backwards? Yes, it did. Is it weird to have a zipper in the front of a dress? Yes, it is. But I can kind of see what they were saying, and I can kind of see what I saw. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna take the video down, but I can see I'm gonna leave it alone. This is a great question. Okay. I don't think in what did Kay say? Kay said, will we ever learn the identity of the person who snitched to steal? Okay. I don't think we ever will know emphatically. What I think happened is Kayla Bumpus, who was Woody's stand-in attorney, told Jonathan Melnick, who was Woody's supposed to be attorney, but he was on vacation. She said, yo, this is what I believe happened. She told Jonathan, and Jonathan emailed Brian Steele and said they had an ex parte meeting, and that's how they got there. That's what I think happened. I've talked to Kayla, and she said that she didn't do it, and I believe that she didn't do it. So I think what happened is I believe she told Jonathan Melnick, and Jonathan Melnick told Brian Steele. Brian Steele called Judge Glanville out. But unless, I mean, I would love to know emphatically. And if y'all have heard something different, please, 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 because I know I can't keep up with everything. But if you have heard something different, please. We'll see. I think Mike agrees. I agree with you. Thank you. How do you feel about the Trump RICO and the validity of it? I appreciate it. Okay, I'm not a fan of RICOs anymore. I think that they're definitely overused. I live here in Georgia. and I live in Cobb County. I think they're overused, and I don't think that y- you can almost bring up anybody on RICO if you play your definitions loose enough. Do I think that Trump was telling somebody to go out there and fabricate and cheat and materialize some votes? I don't believe that's what he was doing. I don't. Do I believe he was saying, like, we have something we got to find? I do believe that's what he was saying, but it's just akin to me asking my kids where my car keys are. I'm not asking them to go make me some car keys. I'm saying we got to find these car keys. And that's how I understood it. Now, is that RICOable? I don't think so. Um, is it does it sound bad? But I've said this before. My critique of Donald Trump is that some of the things he said don't come across well. They don't translate well. And I think you have to be mindful that pretty much everything Donald Trump says is going to be taken with a through an ear of scrutiny that somebody who supports him is not going to do. So that being the case, I don't believe that this case. I don't think it's reasonable. I think it's a money laundering. As I've said before, I do think this is just outright money laundering, and in a very legal, upfront way. There's just a money transfer. Lots of money is coming in because they got this big RICO case that they gotta try, they gotta prosecute, and there's just floods of money coming in, and nobody knows where it's going. So I don't think that it's valid, but yeah, I don't think it's valid. I think sure you can argue that some things were said that probably shouldn't have been said, and I think that's probably reasonable. But to make it RICO and to try to bankrupt these men and women for that, to me, is a lap too far. I don't think it's right. That's my 2 cents. Oh, what does Nia say? Nia says, y'all, what does justice look like for alleged criminal gang members who don't believe in the system and often pursue street justice instead? I don't think, well, true justice isn't, if for the individual like this, let's say that they do pursue street justice, true justice isn't available to them because the only justice that would be available then would be for them to be in jail, if that be the case. So if we're using the YSL, or there was the young rapper in Jacksonville, Florida, I think it was, that recently got that was killed like a month ago, and they just recently arrested the two men and a woman that were involved in in his murder. I mean, justice is them going to jail, in my opinion, being in there for a long time, and maybe instituting a much more speedy um, sentencing. But that's just me. David David Taylor. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. Um. So Nia said right here, I really don't know why Nut is being painted as a saint in this case, and I think that's a great point. Oftentimes we try to venerate people after they passed away. We try to preach them into heaven, and we try to, you know, you know, baptize their reputation, so on and so forth. Nut wasn't, as far as I understand, was not a good person. Not saying that that's what he deserved to be, something death to happen to him, but he wasn't a good person. And I think that is the case. However, even though you're not a good person, you still don't deserve to die in a hail of bullets on a street corner. That being the case, I think they need to be honest about all things. But I think that's where they get a little bit dicey. And they even have there's actually a motion about talking about his character, not talking about Nut's character, because he wasn't a good person. But yeah, that was it. What do we have right here? Okay. Oh, absolutely no problem. No problem at all, Just. No problem at all. What's going on, Shara? Thank you so much, Shari. Oh, by the way, tomorrow we're going to be playing YSL Free Thug Bingo. So I did drop the link. I'll drop it again for the bingo boards. Grab yourself a bingo board tomorrow. We'll be starting at 8:30. I think trial is supposed to, I mean, court's supposed to start at 8:45. So I'm going to start live stream at 8:30. I gotta go drop my car off in the morning, but I'll make sure I'm here on time and get get this party rolling. But yeah, tonight was again, everybody. Thank y'all again. There's almost 200 of y'all watching. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. It does let me know that you like this type of content. And tonight, I just want to hear your theories as the YSL case hopefully is getting back on track. And who knows, maybe it'll pull into the station of mistrial or it's gonna go all the way to the jury. I don't know. But I just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of want to hear your little tinfoil hats, your crazy conspiracies and such like that. I don't think many people think this is going to go to the end though. Matter of fact, let me drop a poll real quick. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think most of us believe that will this go the distance? Will this go to a jury? All right, let me drop that in real quick. I want to see what y'all think. But all right, yeah, I just dropped that poll question in there. I'd like to see what y'all think. Do you think this would actually go so far where we are right now with the new judge? Which I think if the new judge had been the judge in the beginning, we probably would already be finished with this because she seems to be about that business. With the new judge moving forward, let's say everything else stays the same. Do you think this would go to a jury, an actual jury to get a verdict? Yet nothing and nothing improper in this case. It's easy to learn from the good. Nothing important from this case. Learn from the good because there's too many mistakes. I agree, Captain Lowe. And hear me. And most attorneys have said that they don't even study this type of stuff. But to me, it's almost like there's some good opportunities to see like mistakes because they're just so glaring. It's like big bright road signs. So that's the only reason I was wondering. But no, I appreciate you. I agree with you. I agree. I just thought like, man, I thought y'all would have studied like big cases that were, like, did this case fail because it was too big? Did this case fail because it was unprepared? Did this case fail? Like that's what I was kind of thinking. But um, most attorneys have told me they don't study this. They don't look at what old cases or why a case fell apart. So it totally makes sense to me. Now, I just thought it was interesting. What do we have here? Let's see what we got. Yeah, about 88% of y'all are saying this thing is going to not make it to the jury. Because I could ask you, do you think the jury's going to come back at all? Because I mean, there's rumor has it they will never see the jury again. Or that they'll call the jury in to dismiss the jury. So that was one of the rumors that is floating around there. Like she might call the jury back just to send the jury home and say, y'all are off. You're no longer sworn in jury. You can go ahead and go do your life, write a book, do book tours and all that kind of craziness. But yeah, I would love to see how that all shakes out. Yeah, about 90% of y'all saying this thing is never going to see the light of day. I agree, man. I agree with you 100% because this thing has been yeah, it's been a pretty wild event to say the least. Juror 5 is in Jamaica. Juror 5, this Felicia. Felicia's Juror 5. Don't tell nobody what. Wait, did y'all? Don't tell anybody Felicia's Juror 5. Juror 5. Oh no, yeah. Robin says, well, if the jury was sequestered, then yes. But this jury is now tainted. I mean, there's no way. There's no way that they did not. They haven't seen Woody, racing Hellcats on Peachtree Street. There's no way they have not heard about all the shenanigans and hijinks and all this kind of stuff. I mean, he's been reporting on the news here in Atlanta. I mean, you can't watch the news for crying out loud because it just pops in like something new. Like you're just watching the weather, and next thing you know, bang, judge has been recused in the YSL case. Like, I wasn't even trying to find out about this. I was trying to learn about the news, the weather. Is 8:30 too early for popcorn for the circus? No, it's never too early for popcorn. in this case at least. I mean, I'm going on a limb. I told you I'm going big. Tomorrow's the last day. Like I'm going big. I'm going big. I'm going big. Fani's gonna come in there. Judge is gonna say the prosecution can stay. Next thing, order of business is the mistrial. She's gonna declare mistrial with prejudice. Y'all take it to the house. I'm saying I'm going big. I'm glad I don't bet because I probably would be bankrupt. But yeah, I think this is tomorrow. And at worst, I'll give them to Wednesday. But I'm saying tomorrow's gonna be the last day because there's no reason. There's no reason if Judge Whitaker is worth her salt and she looked at this case and she says, there is no way this thing's gonna ever get this train is ever gonna get back on track. You can't unring the bell. You can't, was it rewind the clock or all these little analogies that they use. Uh, get out of here. No, Kamala would not want to be around this with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to give Kamala that at least credit for that. She would not want to be a part of this at all. Not with a 10-foot pole. Oh, that's a great point. What did Kenneth say? Kenneth Wood said the case fell apart when Love took over the case and it took 8 months to pick a jury. I mean, that was really bad. That should have been a good indicator. Like, I think that should have been a good sign. That probably should have been a sign even before the opening statement. This is going to be something different that it took this long to select a jury. See, this is why I'm saying with prejudice. How could you select a new jury? I mean, everybody. I'm telling you, I already got a Photoshop picture of me and Woody. If they call me to be a juror, I'm gonna say, look, this is me and Woody. We was at Buffalo Wild Wings last week. I already got a picture. I'm gonna say, nope. You don't want me to be a juror because me and Woody be racing cars down Peachtree Street. Nope, can't do it. Down Piedmont. Can't do it. Can't do it. Got other things to do. Free the jurors. Free the jurors. This case is done. It's cooked. It's finished. Stick a fork in it. It's done. Man. But everybody, I want to thank y'all again. Everyone who's not only rolled with me through all of this, but has been hanging out in the live streams, checking out the videos, all that kind of stuff. I want to say thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Janelle. What does Janelle say right here? I agree with you, DWC. That is the case with that this case will be dismissed with prejudice, but not until the judge responds to all the motions. Okay, I understand your point. And hear me. If there's anybody that's a lawyer, I surrender my pre-K law school stuff to you. I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? But this is what I'm thinking. If you triage all of the motions from most important to the least important, the most important is that whether or not the prosecutors get kicked off. If you kick them off, then by default it's going to go to a mistrial and we're done. But I don't think prejudice attaches. You keep them and you go to the next motion, which is for mistrials. And then after that, there's like 4 motions for mistrial, if not more. After that, you have bonds. And then after that, you got all those ancillary fair trial and, I want to be able to eat snacks and all that kind of stuff like that. All that stuff, very non-essential. Nobody's really worried about. You got to go up here. I think mistrial, if she knows she's going to call a mistrial up here, what's the purpose of going through all of these other motions? They all become moot if she declares a mistrial up here. So that's why I'm thinking, and again, I could be wrong. Again, I'm a pre-K law student. And by that, I mean, I don't know a thing. Okay. So that being the case, I think, in my opinion, that she would call the mistrial and the other ones just become moot. Kind of like Judge Glanville's show cause. Nobody's worried about that show cause here. Why? Because Glanville's been recused and they moved it somewhere else. So that's kind of gone away. I mean, they're dealing with that. If they're dealing with it, it's off the record and out of the public eye. Maybe a letter is written or whatever. I don't know. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think the jurors are partying it down. I think the jurors know that they can go back to work. What does Sim say? Sim say, I can't wait for court tomorrow. I'll set a timer as to how long Demon Love will remain her cool. Oh, that's gonna be that's gonna be see, that's what I'm saying. I know they'd be betting somewhere in Vegas. They betting on this trial. Like how long before she starts scribbling on notepads and stuff. I know they do. They got to. Now, what does he say right here? Mr. Jones says the reason it took so long was deliberate. Here's why. When the previous DA left the case, he took all of the evidence, and Love and Hilton had to start from scratch. Glanville did that purposefully. Wait, purposely. Wait. When the previous DDA, that would have been Paul Howard. Paul Howard took all the. Wait, I don't know if we might be missing somebody. Pretense. We might be missing somebody because Paul Howard was the DA before Fani Love, and he, from my understanding, what I heard was that he said, "Don't this is not a good case." So I don't know if he did that. Okay, I'm just trying to see. I don't know about that one. That was an interesting theory. I don't know if that's how it shook out, but I mean, a lot of things could have happened. But let's do this, my good people. Y'all know what we're gonna do tomorrow? 8:30. You got your bingo board? Get your bingo board, get your popcorn, get your good night's sleep, and get yourselves ready. Because I think it's gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow. It's gonna be wild. It is going to be wild in these streets. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I got you now. Deputy District Attorney. I'm sorry. I got you now. Yes. Really? Okay. Interesting. Okay. That is not something I knew about Pretense Jones. I appreciate you saying he's talking about the original DDA, Deputy District Attorney, that Fonnie had over the case. You are correct. I did kind of forget about that. Yeah, I think his name is Gary. Gary? Is that right? Gary? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Hey, this is all about tinfoil hats tonight. So we just want to have our, get a conspiracy in there, get a good little theory in there and whatnot. I think, let me see my poll. Oh, my poll is rocking over here. It's cooking. 10% of y'all say, yeah, this thing's gonna make it to the jury. 90% of y'all said the jury is gone. Jury's gone. Jury's gone away. All right. Uh my dad would die laughing at he heard me doing that. Um Y'all, tomorrow I'm gonna be ready. It's gonna be a long day, but man, I'm gonna stretch, make sure I warm up real good, get a good workout in the morning, drop my car off, and get back up in here at 8:30 and be ready. Cause I don't want to be late. Cause I know Judge Whitaker, she ain't playing no games. And I think we all agree. So this is gonna be wild. I'm gonna reiterate again what I think is gonna happen. I think Fani Willis is gonna be there because she's gonna have to argue for those the prosecutor, and by default, the prosecutor's office, which is the district attorney's office. She's going to argue for the district attorney's office to not be disqualified. Then I think Judge Whitaker is going to gavel that joker and say, this is a mistrial with prejudice. Y'all go ahead and take it to the house, fill out all your paperwork, and I'll see y'all be good. I think it's going to go really, I know that sounds crazy, but I think it's going to go pretty fast tomorrow. And I think this is going to be so much to talk about because and even though I know they don't go back and reinvestigate and do an autopsy on cases, I do think this case is going to be autopsy worthy because there's so many levels to this thing, as my brother would say. There's levels to this. But everybody, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for giving your comments. Thank you so much for the engagement in the chat. Whether this is your day one or this is your first day, I don't care. I appreciate you hanging out with us, giving your insight, giving your opinions, and so on and so forth, giving your likes, giving your shares, all your comments. Let me know that you do appreciate this type of social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective. So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. After that, I do have an interview with the rapping Marine on Thursday. That's going to be us having a conversation. That is going to be a conversation we have on Thursday, going over what is the opinion of the Marine Corps, if you will, about having a um, possible female commander in chief. Looking forward to having that conversation with them on Thursday. And we'll do that. I think that's it. I gotta look at my list again, but we have a lot of stuff planned. And if, of course, if this case continues, then we'll be back here on Wednesday. So there's a lot going on. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the week. I want to thank you all so much. Thank you so much to the moderators, everybody. Tell the moderators we appreciate them for all that they do. Drop that mod, MOOD, MOD. Please forgive me in the chat. You're in the mood to say mod. Absolutely. Tell them thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. Again, all the new people, all the old people, everybody's been hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. I don't think, I will say this. I think that there will be very little disrespect in the office because I think in the courtroom tomorrow. I would be very surprised if there's a lot of disrespect like there was in Judge Glanville's court. Now, anything can happen now. Anything can happen, but I don't think there'll be any like there was before. So we'll see how that goes. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Moderators and everybody, thank you so much for holding it down. I'm gonna go see what Lady Dear World Christian got going on. So until next time, actually, I'll see y'all in 12 hours. How about that? Everybody, make sure you're ready. Tomorrow, I got the bingo board will be going down in the description as well. Everybody, thank you so much. Grace and peace. Take care.